On the biggest day of my career so far, I'm embarrassed by the racist and sexist tweets I posted about 8 years ago, which have today become public. I want to make it clear that I'm not racist and I'm not sexist. I deeply regret my actions and I'm ashamed of making such remarks. I was thoughtless and
Hey guys, today I'm going to speak about the Ollie Robinson stuff that's been going on. Obviously, a very controversial topic, so I'm going to speak straight from the heart here. Whether you agree with me or don't doesn't really matter. I don't really care. It's my opinion on the matter, but I think it's a very important topic and we need to talk about it. Now, is there an issue in cricket? Cricket's definitely gotten a lot better, especially when you talk about Australia, because that's where I've grown up. From when I started playing to where I am now, people are a lot more understanding. They actually ask questions. When I first came to Australia, it was very, very different. So has cricket gotten better? Yes. Has society gotten better? Yes. But have we still got a long way to go? Obviously. And that's where the case is at the moment. Now, this is a societal issue. The fact is, we have an 18-year-old who thought it was right to not only think these things, but say these things, not only be like behind closed doors. He was willing to say them in a public domain like Twitter. So the fact remains that something has gone wrong. How that goes wrong is the question. Whose fault is it? Is it the cricket fraternity's fault for not giving him much advice? By that age, at 18, he would have only spent a few years within the cricketing realms. He would have been spending time with his peers, his family, people in his community. That's where the problem lies. You grow up with your peers. So for him to say something like that, he himself at that time must have thought it was the right thing to do. It was fine. He could put that up on Twitter. No worries, no backlash, no nothing. And if he was involved with a sporting organisation and they didn't pick it up, well, that's just the way it is. But if they did pick it up and let it go, that's another issue in itself. So there's a lot of questions to come out of this, and I think we need to dig a little bit further. Now, cricket itself is called the gentleman's game. I mean, I think the best thing about cricket and sport in general is that it breaks all barriers. Doesn't matter where you're from, who you're from. Even the guys back in the 1929s used to go to subcontinent to play cricket. How they were treated, I don't know, but you hear about it all the time. Sri Lankans talk about the Don Bradman coming in and playing a game there and scoring 100 or 200 or whatever it was on his way to England for the Ashes. So cricket has been breaking down barriers for a long time. So to say this is an issue an issue in cricket and cricket specific, it is totally wrong. Yes, we can get better as a cricket organisation as a whole, but this, as I'm keep pointing out, is a societal issue. If you guys think that this is a one-off, I've been copying absolute crap on my Instagram, Twitter pages, whatever it may be, for years. Whether it's posting things up or posting things up with my wife when we first got married, some of the stuff that was put up with me was absolutely appalling. You could not believe it, and it still happens to this day. Obviously, a lot of it gets blocked out. Social media has certain software that takes out these sort of things, but there's a lot of times that inappropriate language, inappropriate comments still go through the system, and I'm there deleting some comments because I just can't believe some of the stuff's being said. So let's just be honest that this is a societal issue that won't go away, and it's something that we need to hit it face on and just get better at. That's all we can try to do. Try to keep improving gradually, gradually, gradually. And if you think the ultimate goal is to abolish racism, I mean, it's just not going to happen. That's not realistic. It's always going to be in the world. The point is just to get better, to have a society that's more inclusive, tolerant, whether it's in the cricketing world or outside the cricketing world. That's all you can try to achieve. There is no such thing as perfection. Let's just make that real clear. I think everyone needs to understand that. Now, in the case of Ollie Robinson, has he changed in that time? Probably. I mean, no one really knows that. The fact is that it was still said, and people at that time still were fine with it. No one really kicked up a stink. He himself at the time was all right with it. I'm pretty sure now he realizes it wasn't. And I've met Ollie Robinson a year or so ago in an A series, and I talked to him, and he's a lovely guy, and he treated me really well. We had a good conversation, and I've come to realize after a long time that you only really treat people how they treat you. And to me, it was great. So I have no doubt in my mind that he is a very different person, a matured person from when he was before. But the fact remains that he still said what he did at that time. So we need to figure out how we can get better at this. So guys, when they're coming up the ranks, aren't doing this. Youngsters aren't doing this. Guys coming up, guys and girls, when they're coming up, realize what's right and what's wrong. I mean, that's the basis of it. It needs to start young. You can't just, keep doing it over and over again and being, oh, no, it happens again. Oh, sorry, I was young. I did something inappropriate. I mean, these things just shouldn't be happening whether you're 18 years old or 25 years old. In saying that, I still believe that Ollie Robinson shouldn't be heavily, heavily penalised. He should be penalised to some extent, but I don't think it should be much. I think the man should be allowed to come back, play. It was a long time ago. He seems to have matured. I think if anything, we can learn from this situation. This is a great, great opportunity to learn from this, to actually dig deeper and ask him questions. Why did you say that? What made you say that? Was it appropriate at the time? How can we get better at this? How can we teach the younger people coming up, especially through cricket, of how to deal with these situations, what to do? And I think it's an awesome opportunity to actually just dig deeper into this and figure out a process to actually educate everyone and educate the youngsters coming up through about social media and in particular about inclusivity and racial vilification. And I think we turn a really crappy situation for Ollie and for cricket in general to something really, really positive. We have an opportunity here to actually delve deeper into someone's mindset, especially at a young age like that, and to learn from it and to put it in process rather than just pointing the finger and saying, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. This is another opportunity to learn. And this is how we always learn through our mistakes. And on that, I do believe Ollie deserves a second chance. I mean, everyone's done some really stupid stuff when they're younger. Obviously, some more stupid than others, but I think he deserves a second chance. He's obviously matured as a cricketer by the looks of it. From when I met him, even when I played against him, he's played the game in a really good spirit. So from that, I think he does deserve a second chance. Now, as I said earlier, this is a great opportunity for us to learn and grow. I'd be really disappointed if the ECB didn't actually use this case and to help improve cricket in general, both in terms of where we live in our community, but just as a cricket as a whole, because I think this is one of the best opportunities to do it. I mean, feel free to have your own opinion on this. This is my opinion. This is how I feel. I always think it's great to learn from mistakes. It's the best way to learn. And I have a lot of compassion for a lot of things. I think everyone deserves a second chance, as I've already said. But the most important thing is, guys, we're all human. We're all trying to get better. Let's all work together. That's the most important thing. And without that, nothing will get solved.